Hello, we are Craig and Janice, and welcome back to another edition of Cruising Off Duty. As you know, if you've been following along, we're at the Annapolis Sailboat Show, checking out catamarans. This is sort of a bonus episode. You see, everything you've seen in the past 5 episodes was all filmed in the first day. And we've been looking at these catamarans in terms of whether it would suit us for a liveaboard home in the future. The next boat you're going to see is a 60-foot Fountaine Pajot. Very impressive, but obviously far, far too large for a couple to use as their home. But if you're the type of person that has no interest in living on a boat full time, but wants to have a boat that's more of a timeshare where you go to it when you're on vacation, then getting into one of these boats just might be for you. Then part of this bonus episode is going to be a little bit of the behind the scenes drinking that went on after the first day with some friends of ours that we've known for a few years coming to the show. And I'm going to tell you a little story about how, for the first time in my life, I got pulled over and searched at the border, and how a 9-hour trip turned into a 13-hour trip, and you will not believe what I was accused of smuggling across the border. All that coming up on this episode of Cruising Off Duty. Okay, we found one more Fountaine Pajot, which I'll add into the Fountaine Pajot one under Trade Winds. It's a charter company. They got a Fountaine Pajot Ipanema. Yeah, Ipanema, hard to say, yeah. 60 foot. So let's check that out.
This is very big. Ooh, deep step. Lounge seat. Raised hatches, whatever. Very wide walkabout.
Massive up here.
This is huge, yeah. 60 is a bit much for us, I think. Oh. There's a lie down area with cup holders and everything. There's snaps where I guess they have cushiony things to lie down on. I'm gonna go up the steps here. So yeah, this is a party deck. There's even a mini bar up here. And a sink. And a cupboard. And a beer fridge. This is bigger than most of the boats are at the back salon. Nice little coffee tables. Back dining area.
There you go. That's what you do.
An outdoor kitchen area. Refrigeration. Very nice and bright. Very open. It's huge. Fancy coffee table. Wine glass spot. And like this reminds me of the layout. It reminds me of the Selena 48 that I loved. But check this out. It's got a full size fridge and freezer installed. It's a bit too luxurious. The freezer. Lots of cabinetry. And oven down here, stove over here, and a dishwasher. Storage. Lots of cabinets. And pretty much full size double sink. Very nice and bright.
Is that a real plate?
Open.
No. Oh, yeah. It's one of those
So what and then another little mini seating area here, and a full and proper nav station. Going down here. Oh, hello.
This side is full size.
So let's say you cruise in winter.
Steps are steep. The steps are actually kind of small. Window. Full bed. Trying to figure out how to turn on the bathroom light, but oh well. It's not a fully separate shower. It's got kind of a half wall. I guess this is the master suite. Big sink. And rose petals in the bed, or like shower. Found the head. It is here.
Looks good. You're the decorator family.
Closet, cabinets, settee, dressing table.
Hi. Hi.
Hello there. I was gonna go over at you. How romantic. Looks like they're getting ready for something.
There we go. Nice romantic.
This is the master cabin, I assume.
It is.
Very nice.
There we go. Yeah, perfect.
Big window. So, I don't know what's going on. Got access to one room back here. One room. Same as the other side. There's a fancy TV
All that flat screens and
on the side of the kitchen. There's,
How are you?
Good, you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much.
So this is how you get to the other area. Oh, I see. It's a 5 cabin. Some shelves. A good sized head and shower. I gotcha. And there's a closet back
That spotted us, yeah.
there. And this is a very good sized room as well. And similar bathroom.
Okay, so we just got off the
Ipanema 60.
Ipanema, I can't say it. 60-foot Fountaine Pajot. Super huge. Way too big for anything we'd ever.
Inside.
Lovely, but 5 cabins. That's crazy. Too many cabins, and just way too big for 2 people to handle. It's pretty much designed to be a crude charter luxury boat.
Yes.
So that's fine if that's what you want to do. Reading their advertising here for trade winds, it's the whole thing is you buy this boat and you get to use it up to 20 weeks a year, and the rest of the time they rent it out, and therefore you don't pay any maintenance costs, but you do pay 7.5% interest on the boat loan you'll need to buy this massive behemoth behind us. So if that's what you're into,
Yeah.
might work for you. All right. Well, what do you think, other than it's just
Oh, it's very nice to visit.
very nice, but too much for us? Okay, that's it from us. Bye. Okay, it had been a really long day, a marathon day you would say, of walking around and looking at a lot of boats. It was time to get off our feet, go to the Pussers Bar, and have a few painkillers. But we had to meet our friends Christian and Patty over at their booth, which was Sport a Seat, and make sure they were heading over right after the show closed. See, Janice can't even wait to get to the bar and sit down. She decides to use one of their demonstrator seats. Comfy. We met Christian and Patty at the show a few years ago and hit it off right away. They seem like great people. And this year at the booth, Christian introduced me to his buddy, Mike. Mike, being a super friendly guy, came over and said hi and said he recognized us from the channel, and we hit it off like we've been buddies for years. I now realize why we all hit it off so well. We're all from the same line of work. Well, sort of. I'm a police officer, Christian's a fireman, and Mike is a paramedic. What are the chances of that? And before the drinking's even started, well, this happened. It's sort of a rite of passage for all sailors. You have to drop your expensive sunglasses into the drink. What people have to go through when they drop their sunglasses.
Oh, that pisses me off.
Well, let the drinking begin, and let me tell you a little story about how I got searched at the border. Okay, here we are at Pussers Bar.
We're having painkillers.
Janice having painkillers?
Reading for some people that we've met now for a couple years, and we're going to come hang out. So when they get here, we're going to order food.
Yep.
Now we're going to have painkillers.
I told you we're already hitting them. I'm already almost down to...
We've had a long couple of days. Our trip was 13 hours yesterday. That's like record break.
Yeah.
Hours longer than any any other trip down here.
Yeah.
It's one delay after another, so we were already tired and got here.
Yeah, especially me for some reason.
Yeah, busy day.
I did most of the driving, so today in the heat it just killed me. So by what, 3 o'clock, I was like,
Not over yet.
I just want to sit down. So we met some fun people that we want to hang out with, so we said let's just go to Pusser's because it's right here on the property and have some painkillers and I'll feel better. So, because some other people said, do you want to go out to dinner tonight and maybe tomorrow night?
Yeah.
It's just I don't have the energy to go off site and find a restaurant and sit for a couple hours.
The car's parked right across the
Yeah, we're parked close by this today. So the trick with parking down here is you can pay $10 and be at like the Navy Stadium or another school, and they shuttle bus you in. You're still paying $10 for parking, or you can pay 20 bucks where we found just near the bridge. And you pay 20 bucks and then you walk like 3 blocks to get here. But then you can stay as late as you want and drink as many of these, well, not drive, but you can stay and socialize until the wee hours and then just drive home. As opposed to if you take the shuttle, the problem with that is the shuttle stops at 7:30 p.m. I think, 7:30. So yeah, the show stops at 6:30 and then you have to be on the shuttle, last shuttle bus at 7:30 and then you're done, and then you can't get, you have to take a cab or something back to your own car. So we've done that in the past and we've missed out on social opportunities because people have parked nearby and then they're like, we're going out to dinner, and we're like, well, we can't because we got to catch the last shuttle in like less than an hour. So we've learned our lesson. Pay the extra 10 bucks and park right pretty much 2 blocks from the event, and that's the way. And then you can socialize. Yay! Oh, we're recording. We'll edit that out. So, I want to tell you a little funny story. We got to the hotel room, and I did record a little in the hotel room, but yeah, you don't want to see that. So, I want to tell you why we're so tired. Janice mentioned it quickly there. We drove from Ottawa, and our TomTom said it should be 9 hours, a little under 9 hours. So I know that thought assumes you never stop for a pee break or coffee or gas. So I knew it'd be like maybe 10 hours, but it took us 13 hours to drive here from Ottawa. It's absolutely crazy. We got caught in every construction stoppage. I don't know if there was car accidents along the way, but our car was in gridlock. Like every hour we'd get stuck in gridlock. And another couple we met at the border at the duty free, we were getting a little booze for the trip. We met them, they're from Ottawa, and they were heading to the Annapolis Boat Show too, and they were in the duty free when we were. When they get in there, they realized one of the 4 of them had forgot their passport, and they were going to drive all the way back to Ottawa, which is like at least an hour and a half to 2 hours, probably 2 hours at least, right? 2 hours back, and then 2 hours back to the border at the Thousand Islands there. And somehow or other they said they got to their hotel here in Annapolis at 8:30.
Yeah.
We got to our hotel at 8 p.m. and we never drove back to Ottawa. So somehow or other, they didn't get caught in any of that construction. So that 13 hours of driving is what killed me today. Absolutely killed me.
So we got stopped at the border. We got stopped and searched.
Yeah, that's an interesting story.
With vegetables. So don't do that.
Don't even risk it. I didn't even know.
We had to pull over, go inside, wait for agriculture to come and ransack our cooler. And I'm sure while they're at it, they might as well search the whole car. They probably went through everything, I guess. We were there for a while.
We've brought coolers across the border before, and we've had normal cruise customs officials who just don't care. What's in the cooler? And you're like, oh, some food for the trip, and they're like, yeah, whatever, go. And this time the lady's like, what's in your cooler? Well, first she was really pulling every second car over to be searched, which we saw in the line where like the other line was moving non-stop and our line was constantly stopped. So we get to the front and the lady's like grouchy. And I didn't realize these glasses were on, and they're pretty light, like you can sort of see my eyes through them. And I didn't even realize I had them on. And she's like, take off the sunglasses. And I'm like, oh, sorry, I took them off. And then she's like, what's in your cooler? And I'm like, oh, she goes, roll your window down, your back window. And I'm like, okay. So I roll it down. She goes, what's in the cooler? She saw it in the back. And I'm like, just some food. Like we brought a salad in a Tupperware and some munchies. And she's like, what's in your salad? And we're like, lettuce. And she goes, tomatoes? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, pull the car over, agriculture needs to speak to you. And we're like, ah. So we sat for an hour at the border getting searched because we had tomatoes in our cooler. Who knew, right? So we are big time criminals smuggling tomatoes across the border.
Red flag, they're gonna search.
Yeah, that's it. Even though we bought the tomatoes, they're little cherry tomatoes at Costco. Chances are they were American tomatoes that were sold at Costco in Canada, and we were driving them back across the border. But somehow or other, that's a crime. So, oh well, you live and you learn. But added to the 13 hours of driving.
Delay after delay, but yeah, every time I could slow us down, dude. And long trip, we were exhausted when we got here,
and we still had to unpack and do all that stuff. So now, yeah, but the painkillers are making it soothing my tired, aching muscles. So, well, we'll see you when our friends get here. Ciao. All right, here we are at Pusser's having another painkiller with a bunch of great people we met at the show. Christian,
Sport to see.
Sport to see. We've been seeing him almost every time we come to the show. We see you guys and his wife. I'll flip across quickly.
Great folks.
There's Patty. And then Michelle, Chet, and Mike.
Last but not least, Mike.
All right. So we're all having different drinks. Most of us having painkillers. So good times, good time. Ciao for now. Okay, this is at the end of the night. We've been drinking. You know, the camera almost never comes on once you start having fun and drinking. But we had a great time with these people. In fact, we went out to dinner with them another night. We also had a YouTube vlogger meetup happened where shows like Ruby Rose, Monday Never, Chase the Story, Distant Shores, and of course us were there to meet up with fans and to meet each other. We've never had so much fun at an Annapolis Sailboat Show as we had this year. Plus, I got to meet Distant Shores in person, and now I'm doing a transatlantic sailing trip with them. So how lucky am I? So literally in 1 week from the time I'm recording this, I'm going to be on a plane to Barcelona, spend 10 days in Spain, then fly to the Canary Islands where I'm going to do a transatlantic across the ocean in a catamaran with Distant Shores to St. Lucia. And yes, of course, I'm bringing all my camera gear, my drones, everything. Going to make tons of episodes about all this because it really will be a trip of a lifetime and I want to take you with me. Those will be the episodes in the future, but the upcoming episode is going to be about custom catamarans. So stay tuned.